Hey!
Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is combo number 2. I'm Tom Flores.
I'm Travis Baker.
And obviously, and today's joining us again is
Denise Cabral.
And obviously tonight, as you can see, it's a different format. We're not doing audio anymore on this channel. You get to see these beautiful, ugly mugs now every time we do an episode. And for this one, we're going to talk about
Autism Causes Headshots.
The Accountant. Now, in the trailers, it showed Ben Affleck as the star. And his character does have a form of autism. It's more Asperger's, I believe, the Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah, Asperger's.
And you see him from a kid growing up, but how he uses that, what is mostly said as a mental defect, but actually is not, because he turns into, honestly, almost like a super spy, but as an accountant.
Yeah, supposedly he is this guy that does accounting. If there's any like money that's missing for anything, whether it's like a legal organization or an illegal organization, he figures out what's missing and then tries to solve the mystery, because his condition makes him obsessive about that kind of thing.
And he needs to finish it to the end.
Yes, he does need to finish it to the end, even if it means breaking some necks, shooting some heads,
using anti-aircraft rounds to shoot heads.
in a sniper rifle.
And what's interesting too is that he not just only does, as the trailer said, cooks the books for like the cartel, illegal operations, or legal, but he also too has a small accounting firm that is obviously a front, but he does help out common people with little stuff. He's a good guy, and he does do illegal stuff, but with a moral code. And if that's broken, he takes care of it. He finishes it in the end, and that leads to basically a trail of bodies with his character, and that's what's really phenomenal.
Tax fraud Dexter. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, and it really is. There's two awesome twists at the end that we're not going to spoil, because that's what honestly made the film satisfying. Yes, fantastic, but super satisfying at the end. But before we'll talk up to that. It started off great because it shows his home life wasn't great. Obviously, parents who have kids with autism, Asperger's, or any type of mental disability, it's a hard family life. It's nothing that anyone wishes on anyone, especially the enemy, because it just sucks. And it shows that, but to an extreme, with his mom just completely giving up, but his dad, who is like almost like a black ops army colonel.
Yeah.
Taking it to like the fact that nope, I'm going to be hard on him and make him be able to survive the world, because the world's going to hate him. Because at that point in time, when he was a kid, before 2000, it was harder for people with autism. Nowadays, it's easier because there's more help, there's more money being funded to organizations.
Yeah.
But back then, it was different. So that's why
anti-vaccine.
But yeah, that's why his dad's trained him. Honestly, he did train him. He had specialists from across the world train him in kung fu, multiple languages, computer hacking, obviously, and accounting, numbers.
And his mind can definitely hold all of that in, because of this psychological disorder that actually makes him different. Not what other people call as like you're weird, as you're a freak. No, this actually helps him with great things. I'm sorry, I lost everything I was going to say.
I'm saying basically with numbers to be able to track it, and because he's so logical with his thinking, he won't think like, oh crap, I missed up. No, he's following the path perfectly because of how his mind is wired, and that's what helps him become who he is. And because also too with his fighting style, as they say in the movie, all his shots are headshots, and every physical blow he deals is only a one punch to the head, because logical thinking. He's not going to take multiple blows to take someone down, then do the finishing move. No, one hit should always be able to do it. That's why his rounds are anti-aircraft rounds. That's why he knows how to hit someone in the head with one blow and kill them. But it seems like someone bashed him with a baseball bat 10 times.
And he also shoots him in the head just to make sure.
Double tap.
Which is like, I've always wanted to see that in action movies. Like some guy, the lead man, beats a bunch of people up and then shoots every unconscious body in the head just to make sure, even if they're already dead, just to make sure.
Because he needs to finish. Because his character needs to finish things to the end.
No loose ends. That was really nice to see. This falls under I guess a genre of movies of people who think differently and can't help think differently for various reasons. I seem to like things like that. I think my first foray into that was the TV show Monk, which obviously wasn't as violent, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
He's a detective that notices a bunch of things. Oh, but because he has obsessive compulsive disorder, it's like it's a gift but a curse.
Yeah.
Sherlock kind of touches on that. Mr. Robot puts that at the forefront. It's not autism, it's like split personality disorder.
Psych.
Spoilers if you haven't seen season 1.
Psych was also.
They're actually, that's changed. Dissociative psych.
Psych was also one like that in a sense of obviously a little more lighthearted, but also that just the way your mind works is a curse but can benefit and help the people around you, sometimes unfortunately not yourself. That's basically it. And then, what was it? Another thing, Anna Kendrick. I liked her. I like how it's funny about Anna Kendrick is we see her in all these romantic comedies, and that's her signature
Just
style
comedies,
of acting.
yeah.
But romance,
Yeah.
the girl longing for love. That style doesn't work in this one because of how Ben Affleck's character is. So it's really great. Huh.
Yeah.
I think she was her touch of
I guess, yeah. I don't know. For me, a lot of Anna Kendrick's, like, she had some funny moments, and we did laugh at the theater, but I always felt like, and this wasn't the only time we were laughing. We laughed at a few other moments, and I felt like we were laughing for the wrong reasons. Like, we're laughing, like, if Anna Kendrick says something funny or does something funny, and it's not over the top funny, maybe it'd just be something funny she says.
Yeah.
I always felt like, I don't think this matches the tone of this.
Well, you see, I think that fits in because it's not like in his world, we're not supposed to get this sort. No, I'm gonna say something wrong.
No, I think
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's not supposed to fit, which is why it makes us laugh because it's so awkward that just having it there, we as a neurotypical person, we kind of laugh at that moment because it's so awkward for us.
Okay. Okay, I can see how that would work.
The lack of chemistry was great between them. Basically, it came down to the lack of chemistry between Anna Kendrick and Ben Affleck was phenomenal.
Like it was great.
Yeah, it was really good. Very definitely a good action film, and it's a different type of action film, like Travis was saying.
Yeah,
that's what's really great about it.
It's a good concept for an action film. I don't think this is the best way it could have been executed. There are a couple issues I had with it. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't dislike the movie, but there are a couple issues. For one thing, the FBI. So like J.K. Simmons is in this, and he takes under his wing this lady. Her character's name is Agent Medina.
Yeah.
I just recognize her as Amanda Waller from Arrow. You guys don't watch Arrow, so you wouldn't get it. But that's what I recognized her from. So I was like, oh, not movie Amanda Waller. And they're investigating the accountant. But I feel like all that really amounted to was J.K. Simmons giving us the backstory of the accountant, which culminates in this third act, where he talks for, God, he was talking for a while, and they put flashback footage over that as he's narrating.
Right.
And that must have been like somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. He was talking for a while, and I realized this is the exposition scene.
And you feel like it could have been written differently.
That was like, there's a popular philosophy in filmmaking. It's sort of the dominant philosophy.
Right.
Show, don't tell. That felt like, and even though they're showing us the scenes he was talking about,
Because it was a scene at the beginning of the movie.
that felt like a tell moment. Like
Okay.
they were telling us this stuff because they realized we need to give you as much background information as possible before the third act climax happens, because we just couldn't figure out a way to put this information.
Okay.
And I feel like they could have figured out, because they were sprinkling flashbacks throughout the movie.
But through Ben Affleck more than...
Through Ben Affleck, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden J.K. Simmons comes in, and then he spills out the rest of
I get what you're
this.
saying, because we got so used to Ben Affleck doing it. When J.K. Simmons did it just one time, it was a little...
It's just piling it
Yeah.
all in the end because
Okay.
they couldn't figure out where to put it. Felt like there could have been a better way to do that. Or, at the very least, if you're going to include the FBI stuff in there, I argue take them out, because that way it would have been a little more intimate between Ben Affleck and the villain of the movie, John Bernthal, and I didn't feel like we got enough John Bernthal.
And it's John.
Not just because I like John Bernthal, I just feel like we didn't get enough of this character.
And we probably could have gotten more from the other, in a sense, villain just for the script, John Lithgow's character too. More
True, yeah.
So we could have gotten more from the actual villains throughout this movie instead of how it was presented, because they didn't get enough screen time for the story.
Or at the very least, like, have the FBI involved in the climax.
In a different way.
No?
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know, maybe J.K. Simmons comes back and he does something, or Agent Medina comes in and does something. Other than that, I feel like but because they didn't, I feel like you could have taken all of that out, the movie would have played along, and because the FBI is inconsequential to the events that happen in the story.
Okay.
They don't do anything that affects anything that plays out.
Nothing. Nothing carries out in the end, basically.
No.
Yeah. There's no weight at the end of it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all fluff, which is unfortunate. I felt.
Yeah. Like the last movie we saw, the fluff was good. It worked for Deepwater Horizon. But this time, this is an example of fluff not working.
The fluff actually contributed to the characterizations, making you feel connected to everyone in Deepwater Horizon. There was payoff.
And
there was no payoff for the FBI.
Okay.
That was my biggest problem.
Those were the lulls of the movie. I'll agree with you. But
because especially when J.K. Simmons starts talking, that's when the movie takes a halt.
Well, coming to the end of it, this episode overall, Denise, what did you think? Overall, would you recommend this?
Yes, I would. I liked it. It had a good story. Maybe we could have done without the FBI, but you know what? That's fine.
Is it worth any admission price to Cookie Thing? Because we did pay a pretty nice one tonight. Do you think any?
Maybe.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
I don't know if I'd pay admission price. This is more like...
You stream it on Putlocker.
Oh, I don't know if I go that far. I'd say
if I wanted to
it's
watch
like
it again, I probably wouldn't
if
buy
it's
the
on
DVD.
if it's on
Oh,
Netflix.
I'm buying it.
What?
Yeah,
I don't
you
have
might-
Netflix,
I
so
don't.
Yeah, if this is like on your streaming account, whether it's Hulu, Netflix, Amazon,
For sure.
I'd say it's more appropriate for that. I don't know if it's worth spending money for the tickets to see in a theater.
And I think I now know your answer for our famous question we do it towards the end of every episode. Do you think this will become a classic when we're as old as our parents and grandparents?
I don't, not like a big classic, no. I feel like it's a good performance for Ben Affleck, and when we look back at Ben, this will be,
A good footnote for him.
it might be considered like an underrated gem just for his performance alone.
Okay.
He had a good performance in this.
he really did.
Plus, the very nerdy of the most nerdy of the nerd community will look at this as the Batman versus Punisher movie.
Nope.
The fan fiction.
Nope.
One of the best fan fictions.
Because Batman and Ben Affleck. I know you hate Batman. You're annoyed with Batman, and that's understandable.
No, I don't hate Batman. I just don't want another one for a good 20 years.
This is a good fan fiction.
It's not too much to ask.
But it's just like
No.
it's like a good trivia. It's like a trivia. It works as like geek trivia. Like which movie did essentially Batman and Punisher fight each other?
It's like one of those weird comic questions.
It's like a joke.
Ooh, that'd be like a
like a-
Smosh kind of question, like
Or-
if Batman and Punisher in a fight.
Or you know what? It would be like
Oh,
a
God.
crack.com weird movie theory connection parallel
And
idea.
I'd rather see a Batman Punisher fight because like I always thought of Punisher as Batman but with guns. Not including movie Batman that does use guns,
Right,
but
yeah,
generally
the
normal.
movie Batman played by Ben Affleck right now does use guns.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It kind of works out. So
Maybe they'll retcon that in the actual Ben Affleck Batman movie. Maybe Jeff Johns will come in and say, no, we're not doing that. Since he's now running the DC movieverse now, supposedly, but that's a conversation for another time.
Overall, good movie. Recommend it to everyone. Premiere from Combo number 2. Go see it while it's still out in theaters. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you like this new presentation of our channel. And I'm Tom Flores.
I'm Travis Baker.
Once
and
again, our
I'm
special
Denise
guest.
Cabral.
Thanks again. Catch you on the next time.
Bye.
Bye.